Hey, what's up?
Well, shit, it's Dwight Howard.
Why is this nigga naked?
I heard y'all got that meat over there.
Hell yeah, we got some meat. I was just telling them about it.
Oh, for real?
Oh, we got that meat. We got a shitload of. We got meat all day for you.
Damn, for real? Shit, why one of y'all bring it over?
I mean, yeah, we come through and
Nobody go tell this man to put on some pants.
Should already be in the system. It's really my second order.
the fuck. Well, second order. When we did an order already?
Dwight! Hold on, sweet thing, I'm on the phone.
Well, hurry up and get back over here. I want to show you why they call me the Brainiac. Oh my God! Hang up!
Hey, what the fuck kind of meat we supposed to be slaying?
Oh goodness, man! I don't even know what to say after that, bro. Hey, play that again, dog.
All on the phone.
Hey, what's up?
well, shit, it's Dwight Howard.
Why is this nigga naked?
I heard y'all got that meat over there.
Hell yeah, we got some meat. I was just telling them about it.
Oh, for real?
Oh, we got that meat. We got a shitload of. We got meat all day for you.
Damn, for real? Shit, why one of y'all bring it over?
I mean, yeah, we come through and drop it off. Look, what's your address?
So nobody go tell this man to put on some pants.
Should already be in the system. It's really my second order.
The fuck? Well, second order. When we did an order already?
Dwight!
Hold on, sweet thing, I'm on the phone.
Well, hurry up and get back over here. I want to show you why they call me the Brainiac. Oh my God! Hang up!
Hey, what the fuck kind of meat we supposed to be slaying?
So nobody gonna tell this man to put his pants on.
I got the same face as Superman through that whole thing.
Where the hell did you find that, bro? What is that?
Yeah, I follow him on. He do a whole bunch of different shit. That shit was hilarious. He said nobody gonna tell this man to put some pants on.
I'm gonna be real. I was just honest of the blocks, blocking out Dwight Howard. I was like, the cartoon got me.
Hey, you know that nigga had his chest hair shit like the Atlanta Falcon.
Oh,
What up, Mel? What up, MJ?
Lamar, I'd like to bring up an I.O.W. vote right now. That's the new intro, and we never change it.
that is not. That was a one day and a one day only thing. That was not. Oh Lord, welcome to
Right now, days that I'm sad. I'm just going to pop up into the StreamYard and click play on that video. I don't have to go live. I'm just going to click play on the video and watch it.
No, I'm deleting that like ASAP because I do not want to accidentally tap on that thing no more. I am deleting that.
Oh, that's what Dwight Howard said.
Oh, goodness. Well, I guess welcome to I.O.W. Sports Show. It's episode 292. Hopefully we'll get to 300. I don't know if that'll be the final straw that broke the camel's back. That'll get us kicked off.
Can't be. I can't. I mean, we've done
All
so
the
much
stuff
worse.
Nick just said can't.
We've done so much worse.
Oh man, but thanks for tuning in to another episode. Detroit Mail is already wilding. He's in the building. Big homie Nick Shine's in the building.
Well, I know.
Wild card Mar, man. Appreciate it. Wow. I don't even so nobody gonna tell this man to put on some
Hey.
pants.
I guess I should go put on something. I'll be right back.
No, thank
Whoa, whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
hey,
whoa,
whoa, whoa, Dwight, ho.
Well, sit. We don't go. We don't want to. We already got Dwight. We don't need D White man wilding out. Showing his little.
When you see the white of your ass.
That would be a great cartoon, like the ambiguously gay duo, the Dwight and the White.
Like the whoa, chill out. Hey man, man, thank you guys.
I don't even want to do no more. The show. This is the peak of the show. Anything we discuss is not going to get better than this moment.
Bro, I can't even get. Hey man, thanks for tuning in, man. If you missed your shenanigans already, just hit rewind. That's all I can say. As always, man, we appreciate it. Tap in with us, I.O.W Sports Network, everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, especially YouTube, I.O.W Sports 1 on the Twitter. That's where you can find all our content, especially on the YouTube channel, man. So we appreciate all the love and the support.
Right.
I got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, we'll recap week 10 of the NFL season. There's some NCAA football news in week 11. Some coaches got fired, deservedly so. We'll discuss that. And but I just gotta, I gotta start it off right here, man.
All right.
Talking about the ultimate burn, right? There's nothing better than getting burned. Obviously, we have our own.
What you didn't do?
No, I'm saying we got our. No, chill out.
I'm saying, hurry up, get to this one.
I'm saying, like, we all got our own, thoughts and opinions of James Harden, and talking, what we want about him. But
yeah.
The ultimate burn comes from the Dallas Mavericks announcer, Brian Damaris. Listen to this.
This is better than the Dwight video.
Yes, into the Clippers locker room. If I can talk to you, James, I hope you're taking notes. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome for the wisdom I'm about to spew. Because listen, I get on my knees every night and pray for someone to believe in me like Daryl Morey believed in you. You wanted a certain coach, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. You want to play a certain style, they played it. You wanted Dwight Howard, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. You wanted Chris Paul, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. They brought in your old friend Russell Westbrook. You want to go to Vegas on off days? They looked away. You wanted the team to stay over so you could go out at night. They changed the schedule, and it didn't work. And you know what? You said, I'm going to break up with my whoopee. Not good enough. I see the bright lights in New York. I want to go there. My old pal, Kevin Durant. It's going to work. The big three. And all after 1 year, you wanted out. You realized, oh my gosh, I took this guy for granted, the guy that believed in me. I went back with Daryl Morey. They traded Ben Simmons for you. How did they pull that off? And you know what? You went there and you got a partner who got the MVP. He won the MVP. And what did you say afterwards? You said, they didn't hand me the reins. You're the point guard. You were holding the reins. And what did you do when you had the reins? You scored 9 points in Game 7 against Boston. You blew a 3-2 series lead. So they fired their coach. Not good enough. You broke up with your guy believing you again. You said, the bright lights of LA, that's where I want to go. Let's see if that works. Listen, James, have you ever had those friends who had bad roommates? Over and over, they complained about their bad roommates. This guy's terrible, the bad roommate here. They never thought to be self-aware enough that they're the bad roommate. They're the problem. Hey, James, you're the problem. If this doesn't work this year in this system with this team, then you're going to go and point fingers at everybody else, and you're going to go back home and you're going to start swiping right for another team. There's not going to be anybody left. Because, James, you're not the beard, you're not the system, you're the problem.
Oh, and the mic drop, Devin.
On behalf of white people, I would like to elect him our new leader. That was amazing. That was amazing. If we're having a race draft, he's the number one white guy getting picked right now. Because there has been no sentence whiter in the history of the world than, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you right now. And after that, it was like, all right, buddy, what you got? That was fantastic.
Hey, man. All I know is Brian Damaris you are now an NBA GM. You must be protected at all costs. Come on. Adam Silver, let's make sure we protect this guy. All right.
I got an idea.
Protect this guy.
Can we do an I.O.W. Hall of Fame and we keep track of it? And he's our first inductee. And whether you do something great, you say something great, just that's completely out there, you get into the I.O.W. Hall of Fame, and he's our first inductee.
Hey, I have no issue inducting him to the I.O.W. Hall of Fame of great legendary stuff that is said or done. That's for sure. He'll be first ballot.
Infamous.
That was
make it infamous stuff, because it might be some stupid stuff we might have to induct there too. So we just say infamous.
Oh, that video goes in second. That Hall of Fame will be too white. We got to blacken it out real quick. We got to put that video in there. It's white.
Hey man, I heard no lie. I heard no cap. I heard nothing that was absolutely not wrong with anything that Brian Demers has said in that clip. I think what took me off, it was like, yo, hey, wait, where did that come from? Like he just like, yo, man, he must have went to the producers like, yo, bro, give me 2 minutes. That's it. And he was like, what? What do you mean? Just shut up. Give me 2 minutes and just let me air my grievance. And man, you talking about, I didn't see the remix. People didn't put the ether beat behind it. They didn't put the, hey, I might take the audio and I might put the Who Shot You beat behind it. Bro, when I heard that, I was like, God damn. But I mean, he wasn't wrong. What if anybody disputes whatever Brian Demers said, my thing is, I don't think you're paying attention to what's going on in the world of basketball. I don't think you're paying attention. So I mean,
hot mic at first, like that's how I agree with you 100%, and I don't do that often anymore. I thought it was a hot mic, and I was like, this really was getting, you know how Bill O'Reilly on Fox News went off of it. We'll fucking cut it live. Like I thought he had hot mic and just went off. They aired that shit, so kudos.
Bro, I shout out to Brian Demers, man. But I mean, if we, because is everything that he laid out, obviously, I'm pretty sure any podcast or any NBA person has, pretty much set up the timeline just like he did. But I mean, it's to this point where now the Clippers are 0-4 since they acquired him. And come on, Maxey went off yesterday, dropped 50 for the Sixers yesterday. So it's no coincidence that as soon as he subtracts from the Sixers, they play better. You add them to the Clippers, they go down in the tank.
Worse.
I mean, tell me when. Oh, my bad. You're right, Mel. 0-5. Now 0-5. So it's like, where exactly did the? And I said this on the late night show. I thought that this was a 100% a. You know,
6-4-0.
Yeah, it's but it's literally you see it like it's instant. So my thing is we can't sit up here and keep, feeding into the narrative that, just because of the name that you built from years ago matters now. You're to me, I think the evidence is pretty clear that James Harden, like Brian says, no, you're not the solution. You're not the system. You're a problem. Mic drop. I mean, anybody got anything they want to add to here?
I'm going to go on a very long speech, and I'm going to use as many words about James Harden as he has wins, starting now.
And here we go.
I got nothing. Good. I hope they ship him. I hope LA just says we're done with you, and just ships him somewhere immediately. But somehow this man keeps getting massive paychecks, and somehow
that's my point. It's like how the biggest issue to me is why do people keep picking him up? people keep trading for him or keep put him on their team. That's the problem. That's the biggest issue to me. I mean, Harden be who he gonna be. You know what I'm saying? We can't stop him from being who he gonna be.
Yeah,
but
he is what he is.
Stop him from playing on our team. So it's like, why are you putting him on your team? Why are you picking him up? That's the part I don't understand.
Yeah, he is what he is at this point.
He should go somewhere into obscurity and or go overseas somewhere.
Go have an identity change and go play in the WNBA. Maybe you could score 30 points a game, get a triple-double. He can't cut it in the NBA, man.
Have you seen some of them players? You don't have to change nothing.
They might dog in.
Just put on one and just put on a uniform. I think I seen one with a beard.
He's turning into the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the NBA. He's just going to play on every team and never win anything.
Oh, I'm glad you.
But at least
and they both got the beard. Total coincidence.
I was like,
I saw that after the Fitzpatrick. Complete coincidence.
I was about to say, like, people like Ryan Fitzpatrick. They actually don't mind having him on the team.
True. I mean, it was weird to look at, but I don't want to see Harden with no shirt off in Buffalo at a playoff game. No, thank you, man. It looked like rerun running down the street at this point.
And so here's the thing. I hear a lot of James Harden apologists say, "Oh, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer," and I can't put him in the Hall of Fame. I can't.
Hall of Flamer.
That comment deserves to be in the I.O.W. Hall of Fame. We have our second inductee. That's what we should call it, the Hall of Flame.
Because here's my thing. I'm not oblivious to the offensive skills that he brings. But when you look at his game, Brats, yes, Brats, because I think we need to start talking about him in the past tense, because what he did in Houston, and that pretty much set his name on fire. That doesn't exist anymore. And yes, the
flamboyant flamer,
the ability to score at will. But if you really look at his time in Houston, it was him, I think manipulating the rule book to a certain extent to actually get to the free throw line. Because it wasn't like he was, just killing it, just actually just, being like a pure scorer, like dropping 30 from the mid range, shooting 40% from 3-point and just being a lethal weapon. It was just more like, hey, let me find a way to get to the free throw line. Because if you look at his free throw attempts, man, his free throw attempts are out of this world. Like, if you're getting half your points from the free throw line, then obviously I'm not mad at how you got it. I'm just breaking down on how you got it, and I'm looking at it how you did it. That's why I was never big on the Russell Westbrook triple doubles. If anybody that ever watched all them triple doubles that Westbrook was compiling up, go back and look at how he was getting them shits. I mean, when you got literally teammates getting out the way to let you get a rebound, like, come on. You getting all that crap in garbage time? Come on. Like, you can't just look at a stat sheet.
Attempts hit the ground and bounce so he can run over and get it. I saw that twice, and I was like, this is some shady shit. You're right. Man, I'm agreeing with you twice. I'm bailing before it's the third time. I hate to see what that's going to be.
Damn it. Right, if I knew all it takes for you to agree with me to get you off the show, I'd have been doing that a long time ago. Fuck. Like, shit.
I don't think you knew how to be right. I think you finally paid attention to me, brother.
Paying attention to you? No, you finally get the wax out of your ears, old guy. It's okay. I'll let you live.
85-year-old male. When I get my ears waxed, it's my business. That has nothing to do with you, man. When you get old and hair grows in weird places, you'll see it in about 10 years. All of a sudden, you got hair in the ear, you got hair on the earlobe. Like, what the fuck is that? Nah. That shit the last 44 years.
But I mean, it's just. So all those James Harden apologists that oh my gosh, he's a scoring demon. Okay, but I think this is the problem when we got to today's game, where you only glorify certain elements of basketball and you don't put the true form of actual basketball in one big thing.
Yeah, that's all sports now.
So I mean, it's. Look, I get it.
That's all sports now, though, man. It's all sports now. You know,
The
you see
Beckham
a lot.
one-hand catch, Curry shooting
Yeah.
half-court shots. It's
It's
what goes viral, right? The step back went viral.
Mhm.
I don't want to
James
spend too
Harden's a
much
big
time on
piece of
James
that.
Harden, but I'll say one sentence about James Harden. James Harden is the poster child for the poor generation of basketball for me. Because the last 10 years, I think, is a lot of poor play. I think it's lazy defense. I think it's clear out, one guy penetrate, rotate the four guys standing around on the perimeter till somebody has an open three. And I think that all really started coming about heavily during the James Harden time. The stepping back, it just ISOs with not trying to get to the rim. Or when you do get to the rim, you're flopping and flailing in midair. Everyone talks about LeBron's flops. How come we don't ever talk about Harden's flops with getting the stupid theatrics of
because LeBron James' name is bigger. That's why.
But LeBron would go to the ground and flop. Harden would still like stay up but just flail his arms. So it's a different level.
Yeah, they both flop. I mean, there's no way around it. But I think the people they're going to focus more on LeBron James because he's LeBron James. His name is bigger. His platform and status that comes with him is bigger than James Harden. Yeah. And it's easy to get the low hanging fruit and be like, LeBron and flopper, and this and that, and ignore the fact that James Harden has pretty much done that his whole career.
Speaking of low hanging fruit, Mel, play the Dwight Howard video again. I just want to comment. Matt says, "Piss." First of all, Matt, saw your text, saw your post. Congratulations on getting insurance approval, getting the hearing aids in place, brother.
Oh, yeah. Good.
I'm very happy for you. I'm glad that a positive step has taken place. We know that you've been through a lot, and you got all our love and support here. Mm-hmm. But I do not want James Harden around young talent.
No.
Right.
I do not want him coming in and poisoning Cunningham last year, number one pick?
Yeah. Not last year. That was 3 years ago. Last year, Ivory. Jaden Ivory.
Ivory, you got Cunningham there, right? You got young player. I do not know. I do not. He's the poison fruit in the NBA.
Right.
You don't want him going in and ruining the locker room and he's a system. He's Mac DOS in 1984. That shit is no good.
Yeah, Mac DOS.
Yeah, man, no worries, bro. We got nothing but love for you here at the show.
Right.
No,
I mean, sorry, you got to hear Mel again, so that's good. You could just turn that shit off. I got to listen to it.
Make sure you get a bass tune on there. Get some bass in there.
Well, it's just I don't know, and I think that's a problem with some of these younger generations, these younger, I guess even quote unquote lovers of NBA basketball. I don't understand how they are manipulated to see certain aspects of a James Harden and they want to think that he's a Hall of Famer, and they're looking. That top 75 all NBA list is skewed as hell, is flawed as hell. I don't know how
most lists, especially comes out of the mainstream media, is flawed and skewed. They got a whole lot of agendas.
Right.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Harden personifies my favorite saying. He's flash over substance, and flash gets clicks. Flash gets social media views. Flash is what the kids talk about, which is why they're dumb, young, and uneducated, and we don't value their opinions, right?
I'm just
very rare the three of us unite, but I think we unite with that stance that these kids are dumb.
Well, I just wish it's one thing to I could understand if Harden was getting a lot of his points the hard way, and as in taking the contact, getting the and 1 and actually putting on a shooting spectacle. Because here's my thing, and here's why I think Steph Curry should always get more gratitude for what his career is in this day and age than others, because he doesn't just have the offensive threat in his arsenal. He actually does put the work and the effort into other elements of the game of basketball than just the scoring aspect. And I think a lot of things get missed on Steph Curry because he's in the middle of his, ISO ball era of NBA, where it's just, hey man, get yours and don't worry about like Steph nearly isn't really the primary ball handler on the Warriors team. He may be a point guard, but there's actual times where Steph Curry gets a lot of his points coming off a screen. And spotting up and getting to a spot and getting his shot. It's not like he's dribbling 1,000 times coming up the court and just just throwing up his shot. That's not really Steph Curry's game. And despite his size, he actually puts in effort on defense. I mean,
that's why he gets labeled right as the point guard because he's 6'3".
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, oh, you're under 6'5". Oh, you're getting a point guard label. We can't have you as a shooting guard or a small forward, but he plays those roles.
People don't even look at his rebounding stats. Steph actually rebounds. It's I don't know. Is when you talk about today's NBA and basketball in general, and I think for me, I think you can take it back to even take it a step further. The AAU circuit is what's pretty much been the problem right there. Is because the AAU, they've been forming their basketball pretty much strictly, hey man, let's get you to the league. Let's play league ball and mirror what the NBA's been doing. And so that's when you get the problem.
Well, I'll say this because like you have to look at it from this standpoint. You still have to put the earnest on the NBA because those leagues is going to do what it takes to get to that level at the time in the era they're in. So in the 80s, when they're playing a certain way in the 80s, they're going to tell you to play that way because that's how you get there. When the 90s come, so forth, each era. So since they playing this way in that era, AAU going to follow suit because this is going to get you in. So I don't think you're saying this, but I just want to make it clear. I don't want to make sure we putting the fault on AAU because they're going to just do what it takes. They're gonna emulate what they see in the league.
Yeah,
so this is gonna get you in there.
That was my main point. Is because when AAU, those coaches, they're looking at it this way. If I get you to the league, that gets my name popping. I get the guys to come to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Right. What Nick is saying, that gets my name popping. If I can say, hey, I put so and so to the top colleges, and then they made the pros. They did that all through me,
Right.
I was the first to get them. I was the first to coach them, and that makes you popular amongst the social media ranks. And I'm like, oh well, I got to go to Coach Big Homie Nick. He got homeboys to Carolina and Chapel Hill. They went one and done, and then they top 10 picks. So yeah, man, where Coach Big Homie Nick shine at? Where he at? I'm gonna convince my mom and dad to let's move down to to Jersey. Let's move, and stuff like this happens. This really does happen where a kid is so in love with a certain sport. Convinces his parents to uproot their whole life, get them near a coach to, make their pathway easier to get to the big, get their names up there, get their names in the high college ranks, get their one and done, get you an opportunity to go, maximize and get you some guaranteed money in the NBA. I mean, it's literally happening. And when AAU, because when we grew up, all three of us grew up in a certain point in time. AAU was such a selective thing. It was like almost the Fort Knox of basketball. Wasn't everybody playing AAU basketball? Like you had to be in like cream of the month crop to be in AAU.
I played it 3 years, and I was honest. I told you, me and Tim Howard, the U.S. soccer goalie, he went to North Brunswick High School. We played together, and we were a small team taking a couple of the high schools. We had like 8 kids who were, put together. And we weren't an elite team. We were like, the one guy had access because he had the keys to St. Bart's in East Brunswick, a Catholic school. He had the keys to the gym. So he's like, we could practice out of here. We'll just call it, here's the practice jerseys. Call ourselves St. Bart's. And we'll just be that. There was no business. There was no making big money. You want to come to New Jersey now? Like It's wild. The AAU circuit's wild. People, there's a kid in town, a guy who was a year ahead of me, Durkak is the name. He went on to play Florida International, 6'6", best friends with Raja Bell. They're both each other's best man in the wedding, but he's from town. I just saw his son the other day. His son's 6'6". He reclassified. He stayed back a grade to be the older. Like that's the big thing now. You got a talent. We're going to reclassify. We're going to keep him back a year voluntarily with good grades, just so now he's playing against competition. He's bigger and stronger then. His brother plays at Merrimack University, which is D1 up in Massachusetts. Before he even played a freshman game, he had a Division I full ride offer from Merrimack University because they saw him already playing AAU in 8th grade. So it's like these kids, like they play the high school game, but he plays on like an elite team out of Philly. You know, so it's a big commitment for the families. It's a big commitment, you know, time, money, travel, hotels. It's a huge, huge financial. It's not Taylor Swift economy, but AAU is a business. You know, not just for the program itself, but big business in terms of generating a hotel, fast food, whatever. When they have these big tournaments at like Spooky Nook, and there's another big one out about 40 minutes west of Philadelphia. Huge basketball campuses that just have these AAU tournaments for different level groups every goddamn weekend. There's money to be made there. You know, there's a place in Bridgewater called Hoop Heaven. They host shit all the time. So it's they do training during the week. You know, they'll have games during the week, and then they'll host tournaments on the weekend, man. And there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah.
You know, and kids will always find athletes to idolize. I wear my hat backwards still, 45 years old, because I grew up in the Ken Griffey Jr. era with Ken Griffey Jr. rocking his hat backwards. Home run derby, all that shit. You know, kids, I was 2015, 2016. I'm coaching flag football. These kids can't even take a goddamn handoff. And when I'm down on one knee throwing them passes, trying to catch it and pin it, like your hands are this big, dude. I caught it like one hand like Beckham. Shut the fuck up and catch it with two. We're never throwing a pass to you during the season anyway. You drop everything. You're going to try to do a one hand and catch Armani? What the fuck was that? And the step back, right? Shooting. I said in 2015, coaching football and basketball, Odell Beckham's one-handed catch and Steph Curry shooting half-court shots before the game were the worst two things to ever happen to youth sports. Because kids who can't make a layup or a free throw are trying to launch one at halftime or during warm-ups because they see it on TV, right?
Yeah.
Kids always want to idolize.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And to that point, you but there also needs to be a point where the coaches step in and say, hey, Steph Curry is Steph Curry because he practiced that. He practices, and he actually is elite.
Use as a teacher moment.
Well, yeah, you got
That's
to
what you do. Use as a teacher moment. Oh, you want to be able to do that? Say again. I'm sorry. You say that?
Too many of the coaches are grimy. Yeah, you want to be like Steph Curry? I'll make you like Steph Curry. Write this check. Let it clear, then I'll come back and I'll pick up your son.
That's a good. That's
too much grime in the AAU circuit. There's too much grime in the travel football circuit. There's too many guys trying to make a name for themselves who couldn't make a name for themselves as a player, trying to ride other people and be successful that way. And it's grimy. I've seen it as a coach. It's grimy shit.
Yeah. But you know what? You'll always see the teams that are more fundamentally sound still win.
Okay. Most definitely.
Always.
and Duke build a school on that.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean as a
you're not wrong.
Remark, but they built a school on that. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't have talent. What I'm saying is, you know, a lot of those teams they had were very fundamentally sound, and they went up against Duke.
Okay.
Yeah, they went up against school. That too. Yeah, Princeton too. Back in the day, Princeton too. But Pepperdine too, if you want to go back then. But my point is,
Mel, calm the fuck down.
He is.
You want to go Peppermint Patty? I'm your guy, but Pepperdine, I'm out.
Pepper and sorry.
He is that old. He is that old.
Oh, Pepper, I got you. But Pepperdine,
Dr. Pepper.
You want to shoot? I'll shoot, but that's about it, bro.
Pepper Johnson. Anyway,
hey, all right, I'm still there. You still got me?
Yeah. All right.
I can't with y'all, man.
No, but that's the I don't know what the hell I was saying. Fuck it. I'm trying to thought.
Oh, you were saying Duke, Pepperdine.
Oh yeah.
Princeton,
So
schools
that
are
fundamental.
technically sound.
Yeah. You look when they go against schools that have nothing but talent. They beat them because most of those schools that rely just on talent don't have those fundamentals. They can't. And you try to go back. You go back and research their background. A lot of them came up through that AAU circuit. Pushed them through. Hey, you got that talent, and no one taught them fundamentals. And that does them a great disservice. Well, it used to. Now, even the NBA is kind of like that now. But back in the day, it give you a great disservice because you go to the next level, you don't have those fundamentals.
It's crazy because I look at Cat's career like a Richard Jefferson, who was never, the flashiest of guys, but next it has an 18, 19-year career because the fundamentals can not only can they get you in the door, so talent can get you in the door. All right, I think we all can agree with that. Talent can get you
looked at,
and talent can get you looked at, but talent can't get you longevity.
Right.
Because there's a point in time where your body can't do what it did 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Fundamentals, you're right, because fundamentals keep you in the game when that speed's gone. When certain where you can't cut as quick as you can, but you still have those sound fundamentals that keeps you there.
And that's when you come up to where the James Harden situation is, because all those.
I like that. I'll say you.
And that's when you see all that flopping and all that.
I'm about to, who your weed man, nigga? Tell that nigga he mail out weed. Shit.
Hey, the only thing that can help with you is your cataracts right now. That's about it. It's gonna help you be creative. That's when you see the tail off of James Harden, is because now that the talent is starting to wear off, he doesn't have that fundamental foundation to fall back upon.
Right.
Can keep him longevity, or matter of fact, keep him on a team.
But I'm gonna say this though. When you talk about James Harden, you still gotta add the attitude. You still gotta add all that into what derailing his career. It's not just the fact he's getting old and you don't have those fundamentals. You gotta add all that into his thing.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
his totality.
That totality right there is a form of self. That's a form of self. So I mean,
it's easy to summarize Harden in really two sentences, right? Guys like Jefferson, guys like I.O.W, guys who stick around because their work ethic is better than their talent.
Oh yeah,
and that's not a knock on their talent. They're playing in the NBA.
Yeah,
but their work ethic and their commitment to their craft and being a team player and knowing how to play the game. Like there's an expression we've all heard, right? Hard work beats elite talent when elite talent don't work hard.
Did they win?
Right? You gave up 17 points to the Giants and Tommy DeVito. Let's pump the brakes here, right?
Now we'll let Flo have his little money because you
beat an AAU team that we were just talking about basketball. You beat an AAU team yesterday, and a bad one.
It's like Cosby drugged another woman.
Giants points per game went up after yesterday.
Oh my gosh! No,
when you look at Harden, I think this personifies Harden.
Go ahead.
Great talent, bad work ethic, bad teammate, bad motivation. And when you look at him, it's hard work beats elite talent when elite talent don't work hard, right? That's James Harden. Guy's got something. He made it to the league. He got something, but he ain't ever going to work and grind like I.O.W or Jefferson. He just thinks he's better than everybody else, and that's a horrible. Right. Oh, you don't like me here? I'll go somewhere else to like me. He's like eight marriages. That's him. Oh,
good point.
Oh, you don't have dinner on the table tonight? I'm out, bitch. Someone else will cook for me. That's him. He goes to the next house. He got like macaroni and cheese with American slices of cheese on top. Oh, damn, you don't want me here in Brooklyn either? All right, I'll go somewhere else.
You have to bring that scenario up. You don't.
Damn. Well, that's the worst picture. We've all seen that, right? We've all seen that meme. What you're going to do is she gives you this dinner and it's macaroni and cheese. It's macaronis with American slices.
Macaroni noodles with American slices.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Harden's the macaroni, bro. Easy as fuck. They can't win shit.
Hey. Now, one thing I'll say this, we'll move on. I'm not gonna knock his hustle because his hustle has got him a lot of money. It has got him fame. But if just me personally, I never cared for his basketball career because it doesn't bring the substance to the actual play of basketball. And I'm a purist of basketball. I love basketball in all of its elements, not just certain nitpicking certain pieces of basketball and say, hey, I'm elite at that. I'm a great basketball player. No, you're a great scorer. I'll give you that, James Harden. You're a great scorer, but you're not a basketball player. There's a difference. There's a difference. To me, there's a huge difference. So
well said. 6 years ago, there's a one-on-one tournament in the NBA. I think we all picked
that's
Harden.
all him. That's all him.
If there's a one-on-one tournament where you don't have to do anything but just you, I think Harden and Durant would have been the two names like at the top of the list. Don't play in the big three because they don't play defense and they can barely move. That's you, fatty.
Now, real quick, if the Clippers could stay healthy, they could be dangerous. That's
every year.
That's
right?
every year.
Every year.
That's the team motto. That's on the base stuff on the bottom.
If we can stay healthy.
but here's the thing. Now that you got that James Harden factor, my thing is how can you still be dangerous with a very ominous,
an anchor. Let's be real.
Yes.
He's an anchor. I hate using the word cancer. He's an anchor. He brings teams down. What does an anchor do? It keeps you stagnant. There's no going forward. There's no going back. You're stuck where you are.
In the past, Flo. In the past.
We
live in the future, sir. We live in the future. We live in a present. We live in a present. We live in a present.
Double.
Well, it's just that team was just fine. That team was just fine before they had Harden.
I saw that, man.
And
of course.
And to be honest, for me, y'all know I've never been a big Russell Westbrook fan, but ever since he's been wearing a Clippers uniform, he's been playing good basketball. And that's just not him, going out and getting his numbers. That's been him being part of the team and getting the team success. The Clippers were just fine. They didn't need to make this trade. That's the thing that really kills me about this whole situation. They didn't need to make the trade. I mean, they didn't need to make this trade. It didn't.
Well, hold on.
It kills the chemistry.
In this case, though, Flo, until he shows anything different, you can't help but
to look at his past.
He has nothing else for us to go on.
Yeah,
his past is still in his presence. He's still doing the same thing. We haven't seen anything that makes you say, "Oh, you know what? He changed." So that's all we have to go on. So until he gives me something else, that's all we can go on this past.
Hey,
I'll talk about his future. This motherfucker can't wait for Thanksgiving dinner next week. There you go, Flo. I talked about his future. Motherfucker booked 2 seats at the family table.
Hey, bro. But to your point, man, think about it this way. We got homies who are still doing the same shit that they were doing when we were homies 25 years ago. Like I can't change I can't change my perception of a person unless they, formally change their behavior. Like James Harden in 2023 is the same behavior in game that we were getting in Houston, 10 years ago. I can't change my perception of a guy because he keeps giving me the same output. I mean, that's just but anyway, let's move on because, you talk about James Harden finagling getting some money out of the NBA league when he doesn't even need to. There's somebody in the NCAA that's been finagling a lot of money.
We were just talking about that Thursday. Pay us. Jimbo
Fisher finally out as coach of Florida State. Texas A&M, formerly Florida State.
Right.
Won a national championship with Jameis Winston in Florida State. That's what got him on the map. Ended up going to Texas A&M for a few years. Now listen to this, guys. Even though he beat Mississippi State, and they put up 50-something more points, still they got 2 more games left against some Texas Abilene Christian and I think LSU. He didn't even finish out the year. He gets a payout of $77 million. $77 million. And I just want to caveat this to you, fellas, because I see the looks on your faces. Jimbo Fisher.
Fire me for that. You can fire me for that much.
Jimbo Fisher on a yearly average has had a top 5 roster with recruits, transfer portals. Every year he was pretty much at Texas A&M. And you can go down the list and you cannot find an SEC championship. You can't even find an SEC championship game appearance. And this man gets to walk away with $77 million.
Hey, they beat Alabama once.
Okay, yeah, whoop-de.
That's worth the payment, right? And that hand's getting a little shaky right in that check. Oh, we beat Alabama once.
Right, we beat Alabama.
Oh man,
like the Jets firing Rich Kotite in that. We went 1-15, but we beat. Can I just ask you guys a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we surprised that a grown man who calls himself Jimbo couldn't hold a fucking job down? That's all I gotta say about that.
Thanks, Forrest.
Hey man,
and Flo, I appreciate you watching, but the Jets talk is uncalled for. We don't do that. Wrong show for that. Wrong show for that.
Hey man,
here's the thing, though, man. I just wonder what took us so long to fire him. That's my thing. You know, if you win one of the toughest conference areas. Competition is steep, and you got all this talent, and you can't win. Why are we holding on to you? What's the purpose? What I need you for?
man,
So I don't understand why they. Go ahead.
Were there any allegations of shit, or is this just performance based? Fired.
From
I
what
think it's performance based.
from everything that I've been gathering.
Well, you know, nowadays a guy gets fired,
Yeah,
like all of a sudden there's shit behind the scenes that surfaces. I didn't know if it was just on the field. You fucked up. You're out.
Yeah, that's so far I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that might come up later.
Mel, happy Veterans Day, brother. Thank you for your service.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I hope you got Thank you for your service, Mel.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh, he's talking about Melvin Wall, not me.
No.
no.
The only thing you serving is time, motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know how you dodging that shit like child support, but I don't know, bro. I give it to you, bro.
We don't talk about that either on the show here, man. Hold on, that's like
that is a bad subject to bring up, sir. Still paying that shit.
I gotta end the stream. Hold up.
Still looking for a nigga.
Motherfuckers be knocking on the door. I'm hiding under blankets in the basement. Help, go away. Out of work.
Oh, you are the worst to ever play hide and seek. Hide under the blankets on the bed, like they can't find your ass. What are you talking about?
It's a white throwdown blanket, bro. I blend in.
Right here.
I just be laying on top of the blanket like this.
They be like, it's a polar bear rug.
What is wrong with y'all, man? Goodness.
Yeah, but that's my thing with that though, bro. I don't understand why it took so long to fire him. You know, he kept a job for a long time to not produce anything. He had what can you say he can stand on to justify holding on to him? He only have a conference championship appearance.
You have an SEC title game,
none of that.
None of that.
I mean, at least you can say, okay, I went to 2 SEC title games or 3, whatever. He had none of that to stand on, and they kept him for this long.
Well, because I
think and probably missed out on a better coach.
Oh,
now, who's out there now?
Well,
Lane Kiffin?
No, I mean you
Dion will jump ship anywhere. You got a $77 million paycheck. Dion will be like, fuck all these people in Colorado. I'm out.
$77 million. I coach him.
Right?
77. What?
Like what? They have me on allegations already. I'll be in all the dorm rooms.
Sir.
I mean, 77 million sounds good, but after child support and my bills are all paid up, man, I got like $50-$60 left, but I'll do it.
Damn.
I'll go get a nice steak and be like, "Well, that was a good 5 years."
I ain't got that many kids. Damn.
Bro, after all that taken out and you left with that, damn boy, you racked up some shit, man. So here's my thing. There's we see it all the time in college football. Coaches that cash in while the fire's hot, and he cashed in. He cashed in basically because the national championship in Florida State, and then you see that right, Flo? I was for 7.7 million. Yeah.
I was for 7,700 right now.
So you see, he cashed in when the iron was hot because if you look at his last few years in Florida State, after they won the national championship, his flame in Florida State started to fizzle out. So he cashed in when it mattered. And Texas A&M, going into the SEC at that point in time, hey, get you a coach. He was still coming off the buzz of winning the national championship. We're going into the SEC, or we're competing in the SEC. Let's try to get something that can get us the recruits. He did that. One thing I can't knock Jimbo Fisher is he got the recruits. All right. That's not the problem. The problem is that when you keep having top 5, top 10 recruiting classes, you're getting the transfers through the portal and all that, and you still can't compete with the LSUs, still can't compete with the Georgias, still can't compete with the Bamas. They
barely competing with Vanderbilt.
Well, that's
in their division though. Georgia, LSU, Florida, they're the other division, right? It's Alabama, it's Ole Miss, it's Mississippi State.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know
is Tennessee over there? Is Tennessee there?
Texas A&M.
I'm not sure
they got over Vanderbilt
of the division,
Vanderbilt,
but the conference
Vanderbilt might be in there. That's what I'm saying.
Just the conference in general.
Yeah,
is if you literally you're competing with them in the recruiting process of it, which is great, But if you're not putting it off into the field, because this where separates everything. You can have the recruits. You can compete there. It comes down to the coaching part. He can't, let's call it a spade. Jimbo couldn't coach in the same league as those other coaches in the SEC. Hell, Brian Kelly, who I always think is overrated as hell, he can't compete with him in the coaching aspect. And that's saying something.
Saying a lot.
That's saying a lot. So when it comes down, because Texas A&M was quick to move off of Kevin Sumlin, who actually kind of helped them put their name on the map back again in Texas A&M to go get Jimbo. And now you stuck with a $77 million tab. You still have to pay this man to sit at home. So this is more on Texas A&M than anything. This is your fault. You see, you fell for the trick. He bamboozled you. He did the Gordon Hayward on you, and he finessed you. He finagled you.
And there ain't no state income tax, so Texas ain't even getting no money out of that.
Right.
That's all profit.
That's all. Hey, all profit. All 77 million hitting his page, hitting his bank account. And guess what? He don't have to coach another day in his life if he don't have to.
If you don't want to, yeah.
I feel looking at your the banner you have on the bottom, it's like a awful white guy thing to say, like he hosts American Idol. All right, Jimbo out.
Jimbo out. But I mean,
you got Ryan Seacrest money. All right, Jimbo out.
I mean, but you're gonna see it have been more times than not that a lot of these coaches are not going to live up to the expectations that they built. So he was able to give you all the flash and zero substance. See what I did there? So when you have all these top recruits, and I mean, you got all these top recruits and you can't do nothing with it. Like it's asinine. I don't know how the hell because you're taking
University of Arizona got sport teams.
Yo, you love their women's volleyball.
Oh, I love all the women volleyball.
I love it all. Flo says, let's be fair, Alabama and the like have been paying players for a couple of decades, and now that everyone can do it, they are struggling a bit. Well, let's talk about that because yes, I think a lot of the NIL and the transfer portal, a lot of that stuff is literally evening out where the talent goes. It's not just going to Alabama. It's not just going to Georgia or Clemson anymore. It's evening out the talent pool for everybody to really, see what you can grab out of that pool.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it like this. You got some recruiters that has a big family when they make state they may live in, and they're saying, oh wait, they might have went to Alabama before because of the notoriety and all that stuff, nigga. But now they say I can stay home, get paid. And people come see me now because of social media and all that stuff. And if I got a good NIL deal, that means those people who give me the advertising dollars, they're gonna put my name on the map. I'm getting known that way, and people come see me anyway. So I just stay home, or I go to a school that's not maybe a little closer, or a school that may be a little smaller, and I can stand out, dominate, and get paid.
Yeah. And that's a big factor in it because I think regional aspects or family aspects plays a part into these situations now for the players, because you're looking at it more of a business thing and hey, what things can make it more comfortable for me as a student athlete at your university.
Right.
Not only can you bring the program that I'm studying in, I can get the money, I can be closer to the family, things of that still matters. But with the evening of the playing field of the actual talent pool, it comes back down to the coaching. Now you have to be the better coach than the other coach, as in the X's and O's part. And that's where Jimbo failed at. Let's call it a spade, because when you are actually on the same level as a Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, and all those other big name schools, especially the big name schools in your conference, when the SEC is the big dog, and you can't even, you're middle of the pack. Come on, dog. What are we doing? I mean, literally, go look at his recruiting classes. They're up there with Bama. They're up there with Georgia. They're up there with Ohio State on a yearly basis. Why are you not competing with them? Coaching. Call it what it is. Speaking of another coach, Jimbo
out.
Yeah. Hey, now. Hey, what's up, man? Hey,
I'll be right back.
So let me ask you this: do you feel like they starting to pick on him a little bit? Like they kind of.
I think here's the thing. I think he rubbed some people the wrong way. Because you got a new Big Ten president in there, and Michigan been in the Big Ten since 1890, 1898, something like that, 1876, since the 1800s, to say that.
Pretty much the beginning.
They want to, right, pretty much since its inception. So they've been there for a while. So they have a lot of pull in the conference. And, with that comes a little arrogance, because, you feel like we the big dogs and all that stuff. And Harbaugh might have, he played there. He got a lot of family presence there, and especially in Ann Arbor. And so he might have rubbed somebody the wrong way, because you look at what happened. They jumped to punish him before the NCAA even finished the investigation.
Yeah.
They made a lot of assumptions based off some things they saw, not based off actual facts.
Yeah.
And I understand the thing when they say y'all, they picking on him every Michigan. Yeah, that's right, Flo. And here's my thing about this whole situation, the way it's handled. I'm kind of torn, because I understand Michigan fighting it. I understand why they would fight it, because of how it went down. But at the same time, what about the good of the conference?
Yeah.
If you just take the 3-game suspension and maybe fight in the background without making it so public for the good of the conference. So I'm kind of torn between that, but I just don't like the way, and it's not me being a Michigan fan, it's just a bit what I see. I just don't like the way the Big Ten is handling it. And now Michigan threatened to lead the Big Ten. When they do it, I doubt they do it, but I mean, But if they say we entertain that and they do, all you got left is Ohio State.
Yeah.
Why would Ohio State stay if Michigan leaves?
Yeah.
You have nothing. What do you have? USC and UCLA. You got the Pac-10 and the Big Ten again. Oh, in the Big Ten, you got the Pac-10 and the Big Ten. Those two teams leave. Yeah. So I think the way it's handled. I mean, I don't think they should get special treatment. I'm not saying that because of who they are. I don't think they should get special treatment. I just think they should get fair treatment. Right. Treat them fair, treat them honest. Because I say this about NCAA. Period. How things happen, they pick and choose when they want to enforce certain things.
Yeah,
because you can't tell me that he'd only coached. Well, technically, he is not the one who done it. Let's say that.
Yes,
he's not the one who done it. He said there's no evidence saying he has knowledge of it. Now there is a rule, and I forgot how I'm paraphrasing. I forgot how it's actually worded, but something like, if anybody on your team does anything, you as a coach should get the punishment for it. Something along those ways. It's something stated that way. And if somebody knows the exact rule, they can say it, but it's something along that way.
Well,
I understand.
To elaborate on what you're saying, I've noticed that the NCAA has always punished the coaches for anything and everything that has gone down during their program, because they are looking at the coaches to be the ones that are the end all be all of everything of their whole program.
Right.
And to a certain extent, I do agree with that, because you as a head coach, especially in NCAA football, there's nothing that doesn't happen or could happen that you have no knowledge about in general, because you have so much power and control at your program and in the NCAA world.
Right.
But I will say this, because I've seen a lot of coaches, come out to Harbaugh's defense and saying, "Hey, sign stealing, what? Like, that's part of the game. That's part of trying to get your competitive edge." Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, if I see you on the other side doing all this, blah 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 blah, yeah, I'm gonna try to break that down and see what you're trying to do, because you're telling your plays. So if you're putting it out there in the open while you're doing all your signs, and I see as an opposing coach, I'm able to catch your damn word escaped my mind, your habits and your I'm able to catch on to that. That's not my fault.
And I don't disagree with that. I guess my point would be is the elaborate way my man went to do it was a little. That, you know what I'm saying? He went dressed up in a whole different outfit, acting he was a camera dude and stuff like that.
And that's where I'm at.
That's a whole different
that's where
thing.
I'm at. Because there's a difference between me catching on to your tendencies. That's what I was looking for, to your tendencies on the field, and to actually go out and camouflage and disguise myself. And
you know what I'm saying? Doing a Bugs Bunny, dressing up as a female, trying to, you know what I'm saying?
I went from bugs to bags.
Put a lipstick on.
Lipstick on, right? You know what I'm saying?
Now that's
a big much.
Now if he's catching the suspension because of that, I have no issue with that at all, because you as the coach should know and should be able to have that control on anybody on your staff and be like, "Hey, bro, we ain't doing that. Nah, that ain't how."
Here's another issue I have.
Yeah.
If this is like, because I don't know all the information, I haven't really researched it. So if someone on your staff steals a sign, how do they implement them into the game without you knowing?
Well, that's the thing. Like you still got to stop them.
You know, I'm saying, okay, okay, if they do a certain move, they're gonna be in cover 3. You know, whatever the signal means, cover 3, whatever it is, and you know that, right? So they get a signal. You know, they go on a cover 3, and then if one of your people on your staff knows this, how did Michigan use that to their advantage without Harbaugh knowing? You know what I'm saying? How they get that sign? Who they tell for them to know? That's my point. It's like he had to know something. If they use the signs, he had to know something, because it's like he had to tell either the defensive coordinator the offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to know for them to use it.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'm looking like, I'm not an idiot. I'm looking like, okay, how the hell y'all up on it that quick? You know, how y'all know this? Like, you should be able to pick it up as a coach. Like, dang, it's like y'all know they signed because y'all up on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna at least make that comment. And you know what I'm saying? It just some of that stuff don't make sense to me. But go ahead, Nick. Nick, you like you got something to say. Nick.
If you're getting people on other people's sidelines, that's Belichickian, right? That's going a little too goddamn far.
Yeah.
Everybody watches film. Everybody picks up tendencies. You know, that a certain formations are narrowed down. You still got to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the lengths that they're going. I think someone asked, Flo asked, what NFL Harbaugh be at next year? We know Robert Kraft will pay big money for a coach that cheats. So there's the next Patriot coach.
But I do want to say this.
Dallas don't want him because Harbaugh can't win in January either.
Right.
No, he'll be perfect for Dallas.
Oh, you don't win in January? We need you.
Yeah. We need
you give us headlines. We'll pay you $77 million for headlines, baby.
$77 million. I'm there.
Now we're even about the fucking Jet comment, Flo. Now we're fucking even.
I just want to give a shout out to say fuck Stephen A. Smith.
Hey, speaking of which,
that shout out down.
Hey, speaking of which,
I had to keep going because he gonna say
because
of this.
Hey, Mel, hold on. Speaking of Stephen A. Smith,
all right, go ahead. Do that.
State, which we expected you to do. You're going to beat Maryland, which we expect you to do. We'll see what you do at Ohio State, but you got a coach that's still eligible to coach in the postseason. Right. You make it to the college football players, which I don't believe they deserve. This is not about Harbaugh. This is about the fact that the program allegedly, supposedly, according to the Big Ten, maybe the NCAA, acquired an unfair advantage. Why are you being allowed in the college football playoffs if it comes down to that?
This is where that emotion comes from. You think we had an unfair advantage. You are doubting our skill as football players, as coaches. Yep. So we're going to go out there and prove that we're that who we are as players. And so that emotion comes out when you do that.
I totally understand that. And nobody's questioning the players and how valid their excellence is. We're not saying that. What we're saying is we're talking about kids who, failure or not, they were given an unfair advantage. If you're talking about that, here's the same question I asked on national television. What about the kids at Texas? Yeah. What about the kids at Alabama? What about the kids at Florida State, Washington, Oregon? Somebody is going to miss out in favor of those kids who are going to play for Michigan if Michigan runs the table, because you're telling us cheating went on. An unfair advantage was required, but somehow, some way, we just going to suspend the coach.
Yeah, but is there proof that the kids?
That's what I'm not saying that. Well, usually, you know how many times kids have suffered because of what the actions of an administration or coaches done. Yeah, we've lamented that throughout the history of college sports.
And I reiterate, fuck Stephen A. Smith. He don't know shit about sports. You know what I'm saying? All he knows how to look up some words in the dictionary and soliloquy and all that bullshit and say something. It don't make sense. You know, you ain't the only one who went to college, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking news on the I.O.W. show. This might be my last show because when I heard that, I tried to look up the quote. Don't ever Google this term. I couldn't remember where the quote was. Fuck them kids. Don't ever Google the words fuck them kids. Mistake. FBI will be at the door in 5 fucking minutes. Damn, that I did not think that one through. But fuck them kids. I mean, why are you trying to get postseason sanctions? It's more fun to watch Michigan lose when anyone from the fucking shit tent has to go and play another fucking real school. It's Michigan and Ohio State, Penn State, and then no one else deserves to even be on the chart. And they get 9 wins easily, beating up on Maryland, Illinois, Rutgers,
Northwestern, Iowa.
You're playing like Townsend State. and you're playing Appalachian State like fucking 9 times. And then you're like, oh, we're a powerhouse. And oh, how did we lose to TCU? How did we lose to Georgia? You're not fucking good enough.
Well, I do say this. So obviously this is Harbaugh's second suspension of the season.
Yeah, spend more time out,
right?
Yeah. I'll say this. So obviously he missed the Penn State game. They was able to pull out the win, 24-15. They got Maryland, and then of course the big game against Ohio State. So I think that's.
Oh, he's out for that?
Oh yeah, he's out.
He's out.
Yeah, he'll be out for Ohio State. Look, like I said, if sign stealing, to me, that's not necessarily cheating. That's me figuring out your tendencies because of your signs, and that's just me, being a football guy. If you're dumb enough to put your tendencies in your signs and to put your team in positions because of your signs, and I'm able to crack the code, that's not on me. That just means I'm smarter than you. That's it.
Yeah, then like I think it was Nick Orflo said, you still have to be able to beat them.
You still got to beat them. And
you know what I'm saying? I can
hand them the playbook. Email them the playbook on Monday. Be like, hey, we play you Saturday. Here's our playbook.
Yeah, you still got to line up, and you still got to play. You still got to
execute. You still got to beat man on man. You still got to.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that they recognize cover 3, they recognize man, they recognize zone, and still can't throw against it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Now to your point, Mel, if the guy is literally, he went from Urkel to Stefan to disguise himself to go, and to deliberately go to other people's games and videotape, I can understand punishing.
You know what I don't like about the NCAA, man? They take little shit and blow it up to big shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, if he just stole signs, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't be at this level that we're talking about it on every single outlet all the time, making it like he just he committed mass murder. He should be on the grand jury. You know what I'm saying? They make it seem like it's like, okay, he stole signs. That's wrong. Punish him. Let's move on. That's how it should go. It shouldn't be just, he shouldn't make the postseason. He shouldn't. And what about the kids? Come on, man. It is not that serious. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Where was all that? Where was all that shit when old boy was touching people in Penn State? Sandusky
was outrage.
What was the outrage?
Yes, I know.
What was that? You know what I'm saying? They didn't blow it up like they blowing up somebody stealing signs.
I agree with you. It's selective outrage.
And then where's that same energy for Paterno when you found out Paterno knew about it? It was like a little bit. It talked about a little bit. Joe Paul should have did this, and it kind of went up on the thing. I've been hearing this thing about Harbaugh for 2 months now.
I hear you.
And I gotta say, because I'm a Michigan fan, everybody think, it's because it's because whoever it was, I'd be saying having that same energy.
No, I feel you.
I'm just tired of that when it comes to the NCAA and the media.
No, the NCAA are hypocrites. I mean, we'll call it what it is because they had this outrage for this. They had this outrage for that.
I was on one today.
All the exact word I wanted to use, Lamar. They have selective outrage.
Oh yeah,
they pick and choose who they want to go at. They pick and choose who they want to flame. They don't do it equally across the board. It's selective outrage. It's like stupid protesting. Like there's certain things people get mad about, and there's certain things. Oh no, we're not paying attention to that. Yeah, that's how they are with Harbaugh. Harbaugh's got the target on him.
Right.
And to Mel's point, because we didn't see none of this outrage for the Paterno Sandusky situation. We didn't see this outrage when Les Miles was winning national championships at LSU, but behind the scenes he was messing with all the co-eds on the campus. Then gets fired and goes to Kansas.
Gets another job.
He gets another job.
Too.
Come on,
Lane Kiffin too.
Lane Kiffin jumps from school to school, having allegations and things following him. And they
want to take Reggie Bush Heisman because he come out of a poor neighborhood and he trying to help his family.
Hey man, selective outrage. Hey, but the crazy thing is, they said he received improper benefits. But Johnny Manziel was making thousands of dollars for signing shit and Still got his Heisman.
Still got it.
Didn't get his. Look, we can go on and on.
That's because he sold it. He swapped it for drugs. He don't even have it.
He said, "You don't have it either."
You know. I don't know where it is. OJ knows where his is. I don't know where mine is.
So it's like we can go on and have a whole show of definitely selective outrage from the NCAA and their governing body, how they govern stuff. We can have a whole show on how they, are more in favor of certain people than others. It's been a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem, and it will always be a problem until the NCAA governing body is removed, so they can't be a problem. So I mean,
what happened with Jack Del Rio? Did I miss something?
I overcame cancer, bro. Too soon. Man, have leukemia.
What's
have
up,
a fucking
AP?
heart. Fire a guy who beat cancer while coaching.
No, he's talking about his Commanders because they had a chance to win that game yesterday and they blew it because of their defense. AP's a little touchy on that shit.
Oh wait, Jack Del Rio had cancer too.
Sam Howell for leading the league in passing yards, though. Nobody had that on their bingo
What
card.
do you mean? What the fuck is going on in DMV, bro?
Bro,
Jack Del Rio had cancer. Rivera had cancer. The owner
Rivera had it, not Del Rio. You're right. Rivera had it. Forgive me.
I was like, damn.
I was like, cancer, is it contagious?
Yeah. Everybody in Washington getting sick. I'll leave that joke there.
Damn. I'm glad I moved away from the East Coast. Shit. Hopefully you don't come this way. No.
My bad. Not Del Rio.
95.
Rivera.
Okay.
But no, it's a crazy situation over there. We'll see what happens with the rest of these squads, man. NCAA. Well, there's pretty much 2 weeks left in the season, so obviously they'll do the CFP rankings tomorrow, released tomorrow. I don't think anything's going to change between Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State. They all won this past week. I would say this: Alabama, even though they're one loss, they're looking like they're starting to look more Alabama-ish down the stretch. So they're going to have some. Don't be surprised if you start seeing Washington and Oregon kind of trail off and seeing Alabama's name kind of start. No, shut AP. Come on, stop that. Bo Nix Heisman. Come on, stop. It's Michael Penix and that's it.
Yeah, you mean Bo Jackson?
And Bo Nix, no, Bo Nix doesn't leap over Caleb Williams or
Nix.
You just don't like it because the last name sounds like mine. I think it's Penix job to lose right now.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Michael Penix. But let's get into some NFL action for the last 30 minutes of the show. So obviously Thursday's matchup, Bears, Panthers. See, this is the crap I'm talking about with Goodell. Flex this shit out. That was one of the worst matchups to ever watch in the history of football. Was that Carolina and Chicago matchup on Thursday? That was dreadful, bro.
Can't flex Thursdays till week 11.
I don't care. Change the rules.
Yeah, but everyone has to have a game. That's the collective bargaining agreement because they can't have everybody having multiple short weeks. The players union won't approve it. It got brought up about having better matchups in prime time, and they shot it down. The players union is against it. They don't want every 4 weeks in a year with four off days or 3 off days.
This is trash. I would find a way to change it. I don't know. Something got to be done. Don't give me Panthers and Bears again on the prime time.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Yeah, but you'd rather have the 2 shit teams play each other than a good team play a shit team, right? Everyone's got to have a Thursday night game. So you'd rather put the shit against the shit and hope that the shit is competitive. That makes sense.
There's a lot of shit.
Bullshit.
A lot of shit, though.
Yeah, it is.
Who's this Thursday? I didn't even look yet.
It's Bengals and Ravens.
Yeah. So we actually get a good matchup on Thursday. But Jesus Christ.
Bengals big.
It's just anyway. I will say this, and I brought up a very interesting take, and I want you guys to hear it. And I love throwing my takes out here and just seeing what happens.
I disagree. I'm sorry, just getting ready. Just warming up.
Yeah, at least let me get it out. Son of a bitch, damn.
That's what she said.
And I brought this up with my homeboy Bobby G, who on Thursday nights we do the recap show on Thursdays, and so Badgett, who's the quarterback at Chicago, really actually doesn't look too bad, and actually can have some skills. And if you can hone it right, you can actually have a solid quarterback. So, if you look at the history of the Chicago Bears, you really haven't had that quarterback say, "Hey, man, quarterback Chicago Bears, man, that guy's nice." You know, you really haven't had that. They went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman and Jim McMahon, and nobody's going to say that, "Oh my God, those are elite quarterbacks," all right?
And almost made it one year with Cutler
Yes.
Rogers, the NFC Championship.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So they've had some success as in getting to the big games without having the elite quarterback play. And my suggestion is you see how the Bears got these top 5 picks next year in the draft. Last time I saw, they were 2nd and 3rd overall. Why not?
Arizona won.
Yeah, so they might. So that pick might go up to first overall.
I think they're at 6. They're 2-6 right now. But I'll pull up Tankathon. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up for me, because last time leading up to Thursday's game, they were 2nd and 3rd overall picks. Were the Chicago Bears.
1-5. You're right. 1-5. They got
1-5?
Carolina, not
Okay.
Arizona.
All right, so you got the 1st and the 5th overall pick next year. All right, and they got hella picks after that, hella cap room. My suggestion is trade Justin Fields, get the value you can for him and whatever picks you can get, and run with Badgett as your quarterback for the next few years, and build the rest of this team. You got so many problems: offensive line, offensive weapons, defensive line, defensive weapons. Build the rest of your team besides quarterback. Trade Justin Fields, get what you can for him, and just keep building and building. And you got what 1st and 5, top 5 picks next year. Go get your Marvin Harrison Jr. Go get you another piece. Don't draft a quarterback. Stay away from the quarterback position as a whole, and just keep building the rest of his team and just ride with Badgett. How crazy am I to say that?
It's not a bad take.
Okay,
it's not a bad take. I mean, because you look at it from financial wise, you don't have to pay Badgett as much because he's not a number 1 pick, so you don't have to pay him as much.
Yeah.
So you can kind of you can take that money and do have to pay Justin Fields, and
the skill set ain't trash. His skill set ain't trash.
It's not trash.
Yeah.
I will only caveat. I won't say caveat. The only thing I would say is this: he might. Let's see what his sophomore year looks like.
No. I'm making that take off of. I don't care what happens with Badgett. I don't care what he does at quarterback position. Period. Just the history of Chicago Bears quarterback play is they've gone to big games with like mediocre.
Oh, okay.
So if I got Justin Fields, I can trade him to an Atlanta Falcons and probably
somebody give you a 2nd round pick for him.
A 2nd, hell, you could probably finagle a 1st out of the Falcons for him, for Justin Fields.
Yeah, the Falcons might do it.
I mean, why not finagle an idiot like the Falcons is like, hey man, give me a 1st and a 2nd for Justin Fields. That solves your problem. That gives us draft pick to add to the draft picks that we already got, which are already high, and we both win in this situation. Because to me, Badgett has enough talent that he can get you to the NFC Championship. Imagine him on the
better than
roster.
Trill Differ.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
better than Brad Johnson.
Why not?
I'm just saying. I'm just naming quarterbacks that was mediocre that actually went and won Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. He's better than those two.
Yeah,
so far.
Well, Flo, had I saw that, I'd have definitely agreed with you, because I just think Badgett has enough talent and enough skill set that, hey, if he has elite talent around him on both sides of the football, the Bears could easily end up in a championship game. Obviously with elite talent around him. That's the caveat of all this is build the hell out.
They got a few pieces. They got a few pieces already. You build a strong offensive line. You get you a couple of receivers, another pass rusher over there. and you can build you a good team in Chicago. So it's not a bad take. It's just that people are in love with Justin Fields because of his skill set, the running skill set, and that's it.
Flash over substance again.
Yeah, that's it.
But he's not he won't maximize on his potential being in Chicago.
No,
right now,
and that's another thing too. He may be somewhere where he just won't be able to develop as a quarterback because they need him to do too much right now because they don't have anything. He might be better off going somewhere where he can sit under somebody and maybe play, and just kind of just learn and develop. Because he came in kind of cocky.
Well, no, I just think just the fact that when you are drafted to a team that has so many problems, just like you said, Mel, he's asked to do a lot, and so he's gonna have that Superman syndrome where, hey, I feel like I got to make the play every time because who else is going to do it? And I think it stunts his growth as a quarterback because now he has to think as I need to be a playmaker and not a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it stunts his development at quarterbacking instead of being a quarterback. So when you're asked to make those certain throws, he can't do it because he's never been asked to quarterback. He's asked to be a playmaker. And that takes away from him being an elite quarterback. Elite playmaker, hey, by all means, you can put the label on him. But there's a difference between being a playmaker and being a quarterback. And it's especially on a team that has so many holes like Chicago Bears, he'll never have the chance to be a quarterback. He's always going to be asked to be a playmaker. And I don't know, that's what kind of brought that take to my thought process. I just wanted to get you guys' thought on it. So
I like it.
So
I like it because right now you're picking 1 and 5, right?
Yeah.
And when you look at all of the teams behind you, if Carolina ends up at number 1, the Bears franchise can change forever because you can domino affect these into multiple ones for multiple years and build a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Teams behind you, Giants need a quarterback. New England needs a quarterback. Arizona might if they want to move on from Murray. Packers might need a quarterback. They haven't committed to Love yet. Rams, Stafford's getting old. Tennessee, not sure there. If Levis he had that nice little flash. Denver might want to get someone behind Russ. Atlanta, those are the top 10 teams right now. 8 of them are going to be in line for a new quarterback.
Yeah.
If you want to ride out with a young quarterback, what's the best thing you can do? Build a team around him. Now you have the number 5 pick. You get somebody to pay you massively for that number 1 pick 2 years in a row. You already used your number 2 pick on Montez Sweat. You got a guy who can rush the passer. He had a sack the other night.
Yeah, he did.
You got somebody, you got a foundation on your D-line, right? But you've never had an offense. You can keep number 1 pick and just say, we're taking Marvin Harrison Jr. and put Harrison and Moore together. And now you got one of those dynamic duos. Number 5, all right, we got Cole Kmet. We're going to take Bowers. We're going to build weapons.
Yeah.
You know, or you could go with the offensive lineman, Fashanu from Penn State or Alt from Notre Dame. You can go start to build something we've never seen since 85, a good offense in Chicago.
Right.
So, I mean, I would love to be Ryan Poles right now with this situation, this capital, and the ability to really stack picks for the Chicago Bears for the present and the future. They're not picking in the top 10, Flo. I did teams picking in the top 10. But if you want to talk about a team that needs a quarterback, it's Dallas because they keep getting to the playoffs and don't do a goddamn thing. Way to go into the prom if you don't ever fucking dance.
They got 2 left feet, baby. 2 left feet.
Yeah. Hey, we're here. No, you're not allowed in. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
But no, I just thought
without no goddamn ID in the big
but I thought that was an interesting take. So I want to definitely get you. So that was Panthers.
I just want to add to be determined. If Badgett rocks, if Badgett's winning games, then you like Purdy, right? Badgett does some shit. Now, all right, we're gonna ride this. We're gonna build up a team, and if he's not it, we're gonna have picks where we can go get another guy in the future.
Well, to be honest, I made that take not on whether he wins or lost. I was looking at that Badgett actually has some skill set at quarterback position that you can actually do something with, and if you build the team around him.
Everybody usually comes in. Matt Barkley came in and lit the league up with 2 good games, and then the league caught up, right?
And that's right. And that's fair.
He's got to be competitive. He's got to make plays. He's got to show that it wasn't just a flash in the pan. Also, I wouldn't want to piss off his dad because that motherfucker is diesel. So I mean, we might have to ride with him.
but my take was based on the fact that just off of what you're looking at, he can play quarterback position, and it was more of, hey, and just see that the fact that he can look like a quarterback on that team that is the Bears as they are currently constructed. Just imagine if they go through the San Francisco route where they give you elite talent on both sides of the ball, and you add Badgett to that. I'm not saying that they're Super Bowl contenders, but hell, I think they can compete for sure.
Yeah. As long as he's not completely exposed and embarrassed, I love it. I love it. But I mean, it's still to be determined with 8 games left, right? He could be
without a doubt. And there's a lot to see what happens. But
can I read this comment before we move on?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna fix it for you. Dak won't do it this year or next year. Window's not closed. Window's not open. That shit's boarded up like Hurricane Andrew's coming through Florida, man. There is no glass. There's no way to open a window. Just commit to it now, Flo. You'll have a lot of peaceful nights.
That's wild. Man, talking about another brutal matchup to watch. That I can't believe I actually got my ass up and watched that Colts and Patriots game. That was brutal, bro. What a snooze fest that was. I was kind of dozing in and out. I probably went through like 3 cups of coffee to stay up to watch that crap. The last international game. Can we just finally do it? Can y'all move on with Mac Jones? He ain't it.
No.
He's not it.
No, you heard me say I want him to be their quarterback for 15 fucking years. The usual.
Right.
You need to set divisional round and then you go home. It's the usual. You'll be the 5 seed. You'll play the weakest division winner, the 4 seed, which will probably be like
the South,
the Saints.
Nah,
the
probably
Saints or Tampa. You'll beat them.
Nah, I'm done with the Saints, and we'll get to that in a second. I'm done with the Saints.
But you're going to play the weakest division winner. You'll win that game. Your chest will be pumped out, and then you'll have to go play possibly Philly the next week and lose, or San Francisco, or Detroit.
Hey,
it's the same thing every year, man.
Hey, Nick. Hey, in Paul Heyman terms, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. This is a spoiler. So let me get you opinions on this. So Belichick let Mac Jones play 58 minutes of the whole game and was trashed the whole 58 minutes. It's 10-6. Game was on the line, and he doesn't even give Mac Jones an opportunity to go win the game. He puts in Bailey Zappi.
Well, they pulled him after that end zone interception. That was a 13-yard throw that was somehow 7 yards short. I don't know what.
Nick,
pathetic.
You get no arguments from me. That was a throw.
He went handyman on him.
No, literally, Mike Gesicki was there.
Wow, that's a simple lob to the back of the end zone, and you hit that shit. I don't know what.
He was wide open. I don't know.
You don't deserve to throw another pass though after that, right?
Okay. Yeah, but that's not fair to Zappi to go and be cold in a whole game and say, "Hey, man, go win the game for us." What?
I'd like to
Are
say
we acting like they've ever made good decisions on offense?
The look on Belichick's face
like Bill Belichick
is priceless, bro. Priceless.
The only decision that Bill Belichick ever made good on offense was when Mo Lewis broke Drew Bledsoe in half and almost killed him, collapsing his lung and puncturing it with a rib, and he had to put Brady in. He was never going to play Brady. They just gave Bledsoe 10 years, $100 million. Yeah. And back then, that was unheard of. He was the first $100 million quarterback. But they had to do it. He would have never done that on his own. Genius, my ass. Fucking piece of shit. I hope Mac Jones gets a lifetime contract. And you do too with the head coach. I hope they never move on from either of those massive bags of shit.
Oh gosh.
That's the state of America. That's our export. We sent fucking the Patriots to go to fucking Germany and represent American football. Those fucking losers. the guys who played flag football from Germany on the field before the game or at halftime were throwing better passes than the Patriots were. They were dressed in rugby gear, but the shit was fucking wild. Oh, fuck them. All right, I'm done. I feel better now after the Jet loss, seeing that.
Nice. I definitely wanted to get that opportunity for you to relieve that little stress right there. So, I'm glad you got that off your chest. Wow. Man, I don't want to call it an upset of the day. Definitely a win that nobody predicted. Houston Texans going into Cincinnati, getting that dub.
That was Cincinnati's fault. I mean, I'm taking nothing away from.
I was about to say, let's not shit on Houston.
Houston played. They played a good game. CJ Stroud played a good game, but at the same time, they gave them opportunity to win that game. And who was it? Dropped the pass in the end zone. Boy.
Yeah.
That was in his hands. That was the game winner right there.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the ball, bro. How the hell you dropped the ball? And then Stroud threw a pick prior to that, and they didn't score on that. They didn't take advantage of that. So my thing is, yeah, Houston played a great game. They are the epitome of what a good coach team is. Great coach team. Because think about it. They don't have any really big household names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they play disciplined football. They well coached, and they have some bright spots on there that is talented.
Yeah.
And that's a good formula for them to win games. But you can see where they had opportunities where they almost gave the game away, and Cincinnati didn't take advantage of that. That's why I say Cincinnati far. It's not taken away from Houston. They're a great team, but Cincinnati should have won that game.
Yeah, Cincinnati had their opportunities, like you said, so that does fall on their shoulders for sure. But I can't help but to be in awe of 2 weeks in a row that CJ Stroud goes down the field, takes his offense down the field, and puts him in game-winning positions, and they capitalize. So,
wait a minute, who won the Super Bowl?
I see AP say CJ Stroud Rookie of the Year.
Oh, because I'm not owning cowboy gear. I'm not purchasing it. I don't support terrorism. I will not ever put that shit on. No. I just hate to say I was right. That's it.
It said I don't support terror. Right now, I think in AP's point, I think CJ Stroud he's the number one.
The odds went from -500 to -1,000 within seconds of the game ending yesterday.
Yeah.
Forget Rookie of the Year. He's in MVP conversation as a rookie quarterback. It's that wild what he's doing.
No, that's fair. I won't disagree with that. I think that's fair.
I'm gonna pull the odds on that because I know he jumped yesterday.
Oh no, he definitely jumped for sure. Well, because at one point Anthony Richardson was the favorite till he got hurt, and then that jumped significantly towards CJ Stroud. But I just got to give kudos to CJ Stroud and the whole, not just him. Let's give credit to the whole Houston Texans team. Nobody saw them at 5-4 right now, and fighting for a top of their division. Not only that, this is one thing that must be said about the Texans. If you look at their schedule, Cardinals, Jaguars, Broncos, Jets, Titans, Browns, Titans again, and Colts.
Those are winnable games.
That's a very manageable schedule. It's a very manageable schedule. So they can rack up some few victories and probably get to 9-10 wins. And that's being for real. So let's give credit to not just CJ Stroud, but the whole Texans squad as a whole. Because nobody saw this. Nobody.
List his weapons.
Tank Dell,
Noah Brown. Like, he's not doing it with Higgins, Chase, Boyd. He's doing it with like who the fuck? He's making names.
Practice squad wide receivers, bro.
Right.
He's sixth right now. He's at plus 2,000. The order on FanDuel is Mahomes, Hurts, Tua, Lamar, Josh, CJ Stroud. He's tied with Burrow.
That's MVP. That's MVP.
That's the MVP.
Okay. No, but Rookie of the Year, I'm pretty sure he has that on lock. So yeah. To your point, yeah. Packers, Steelers. I don't know how the Steelers keep coming up with wins. I guess you got to play teams like this.
Playing the Packers.
Yeah. Dubs, because that offense is still putrid. I don't care what nobody say. I jumped off the Jordan Love hype train at week 4 of the season. I'm never getting back on. Green Bay needs a quarterback. I don't care what nobody say.
Wild too how the GM went about it with Stefanski, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did his mid-season GM thing, and he's like, "Yeah, we're not committing. We gotta see how this plays out." Like he was definitive, like, "Oh man, we fucked up."
That's what he should have just said. Just straight out said it. But you know,
they looked good in week 1 for about 2.5 quarters, man. After that, they looked.
Yeah. I was officially off the Jordan Love train week 4. I am on the you need a quarterback train now in Green Bay for sure. Titans, Buccaneers. Buccaneers. I'm just gonna say this. I'm shocked how Mayfield is not being that quarterback that is the reason for teams lose. Somehow he's been playing, manageable football. The Buccaneers aren't, they're not lighting up the world. They're sitting there at a 4-5. But here's the good news. The Saints at 5-5 are abysmal on offense.
Yes. So you the only ones on that train. But
They
yeah, I
better
agree
go
with
with Jameis, right?
To do what?
They popped a couple touchdowns with Jameis. It's like they had more life to them.
Yeah, I'm off
now
the
the
Saints.
concussion. I know they got to buy this week, and Carr's saying he'll be available next week. And if Carr's healthy,
No.
play him. But I thought they had more life.
I don't care how much money they gave Carr. What they gave him, $37 million. It's not working. It's just not.
Nobody's worth it in the NFL.
Saints losing to the Vikings, and it's not that I thought that was a bad loss. It's just that you look at how the hell are you really losing to a team that's without Justin Jefferson and their better quarterback right now? Josh Dobbs might be the comeback player of the year the way he's playing.
He's this year Geno
he might be
Smith.
a breakout player, right? He's done it. He's winning games on 2 teams.
He's this year's Geno Smith.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
fair.
that's fair.
But
That's
he
fair.
wasn't drafted high. Like he's
No, he was an undrafted free agent, if I remember correct.
Geno was second round. I think we took him 39th overall, but Geno's had chances. Dobbs just lucky, right? Right time, right place, and then he gets traded and does even better. It's weird because the Vikings are the strangest team in football. They're the hottest team in football,
which is weird.
They've won 5 in a row. They've won 2 of those games, or 2.5 now, without Cousins. Without Justin Jefferson, they're still winning. They're the 7th seed in the NFC. It's crazy what they're doing. And the craziest stat: Cousins has missed 2.5 games, and he's still second in the NFL with touchdown passes. He's second with 18. The leader has 19. He's tied for second with 18, and he hasn't played in 2.5 games.
Yeah.
Mel, I leave it to you to summarize this conversation. Mel, we're discussing him. How do we finish?
I got you. I got you. Fuck cut cousin. Fuck him. Fuck. Fuck him.
Wow. You totally just missed a layup, bro. I'm disappointed in you, bro. That was terrible, man. Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I was reading.
I thought that was the most obvious setup that I've ever
Thank
done.
you, Nick. Oh my
He
God.
was so impressed with Cousin's stat. He's like, "Oh, this motherfucker ain't that bad."
I was like, "What? He got what?"
No,
Dude, I saw hate-filled Mel like starting to brew. He's like, touchdown. Motherfucker can't even touch down his foot to the ground. What are we talking about him for?
And a great story from Dobbs. I love it. Smartest guy, smart as a whip can be an was it a astro engineer or something like that? Of that name.
I am too.
Astro aeronautical engineer.
Yeah, KY, Astroglide. You're an astrophysicist, right?
Something
I am
too smart, like a
astronaut.
4.0 GPA, something like that he had in college. Yeah, so
Can we collectively agree he might be the easiest guy in the league to root for? Like, you cannot find even a hater like me, a hater like Mel, like you can't find anyone to say a bad word about him. Like, and then he was in Arizona, and they don't have a lot of hated fan. Like, people don't hate Arizona. No one like hates Minnesota. You know, it's just like, all right, they exist.
Rocket
but,
scientist.
Like,
oh shit. So what? So was Matt Patricia. So what does that prove?
I want to see Dobbs take the helmet off and have the pencil over his ear. Just like,
oh my gosh, I can't with you.
But like, I'm being real. Like, do you know anyone who has a bad word to say about Dobbs, or are we all collective like this motherfucker's playing nice?
Nice.
And he's done it in two. He didn't even know people's names. He had to take snaps on the sideline with the other linemen standing around so they could hear his cadence because he didn't work with the first line at all. Like, this is some impressive shit this guy's doing, man. Like,
it is.
I'm rooting for him.
No.
I hope he knocks Dallas out of the playoffs, Flo. Suck it.
Hey, so yeah, no, that's probably the feel good story of the year with Josh Dobbs. You know, because the NFL hasn't been able to capitalize on the Damar Hamlin situation because they ain't even activate him at all this year. So suck it.
I thought he was active for one. I thought when the safety, I thought he was active for one game, or he was supposed to be active, but then they signed somebody else and brought them in instead.
Damar Hamlin's only been active for one game. And they, so you're right, he was active for one night. It was early in the season too, but they haven't been able to activate him at all. But I will say, it said your whole crew didn't give Dobbs any credit. No, you got to give credit to a quarterback that literally is learning a system on the fly. And this is his second system. No, his third system. Because remember, he was in Cleveland for all of preseason, got cut before week 1, and got brought into Arizona after the last cuts of preseason. And so he pretty much had 1 week to learn Arizona's system. And, you know, had the Cardinals playing decent, and they got that one victory over the Cowboys of all teams. And then for the trade deadline, got traded to Minnesota. So I think it's very impressive what he's done. I think we all can agree on that.
Can I just give you breaking news?
What's up?
I know we mentioned this earlier. That's why I wanted to update everybody. The Heisman race got mentioned, and the gambling odds right now are Bo Nix is the favorite.
Really?
Jaden Daniels, LSU quarterback, is second. At Nix is plus 110, which is almost like even money. Like, that's how they think how far ahead he is. Jaden Daniels is plus 320, LSU quarterback. Penix is third, plus 380. Marvin Harrison Jr. fourth at 475, and then those are like the top four. And then it dropped to Georgia quarterback Beck at plus 4,000. So it's a major. And then Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe is a quarterback.
Alabama quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So but he's plus 5,000. So it's basically a 4-man race right now.
Yeah. I guess Bo Nix.
I think Harrison
they'll give it.
I think
they'll give it
Marvin
to Bo
Harrison
Nix.
Jr. is the best player in college.
I'll give it to Bo Nix.
I think that'd be a travesty. You give it to Michael
Penix. I think it will be too, but they don't give it to him. Watch.
Yeah, but Michael Penix already beat Oregon, so they beat him heads up, square. Bo Nix did not outplay. He didn't outplay Michael Penix, so that's where he should be second, or at least third, or whatever. I don't care. He shouldn't be ahead of Michael Penix. But a couple other games to recap real quick before we get up out of here. No, I ain't taking it back. No, I ain't taking it
I'd
back.
rather root for Stevie Nicks.
With her massive hole in her nose from doing all that blow.
Shout out to Detroit Males Lions. They took care of business on that West Coast flight out there, beating up. Of course, it was a home game for the Lions. I mean, it's always a home game.
Bruh, do you see all them everywhere they go? I be like, damn, look at all these Detroit people traveling, bruh. I ain't never seen nothing like it, bruh. I mean, since I've been a Lions fan, I ain't never seen them travel like this.
Detroit is such a shithole. They all moved out of Detroit. Now they live elsewhere.
Easy coming from Jersey. Easy coming from Jersey.
If my kids weren't here, I'd be gone too, bro. We'd be both together like stepbrothers.
This my brother from another. I'm like, this my brother from another color.
I can't with y'all. Very, very impressive win.
Like kidding aside, I love to see Jaguars, Browns, Jets, Lions. Like, I'd love to see the teams that have been bad,
right?
Start their fan bases getting excited, even though most of them will end up in disappointment. It's cool to see those teams that have been where none of them are in the top 10 for the draft, right? And we were staples. Like, you knew, all right, it's week 3. Ooh, Penny Sewell's coming out this year. Hopefully we're high enough to get him. Like,
I'm watching more college football so I can see who we gonna get.
You know, we were doing stuff with Sam Darnold years ago. Yeah, you watch football on Saturday and then you wrote your notes on Sunday. Once in a while, you look up, they fucked up again. You were writing your college notes. Lions are the 4th best team in the NFC. I can't agree with that.
They don't have his Cowboys, man. You know,
third.
They don't have his Cowboys. They don't have his Cowboys.
Or the 6th seed Cowboys, who's 3-3 in the conference, are somehow the best team or better. I can't agree with that.
I'm assuming
the Cowboys are up and down. They're a seesaw, right? You never know what team's going to show up. Yeah, they can pummel the Giants twice. Then they lose to Arizona. There's no consistency. And I'm not saying that to shit talk, Flo. I'm fairly assessing what I think everyone thinks about the Dallas Cowboys. If the Dallas Cowboys are at their best, performance-wise and coaching-wise, they're one of the best teams in the league. No one can argue that. But the issue is you never know what Cowboy team is going to show up. And that's where the issue lies with them. And I think that's fair, Flo. I don't think you can get angry with that. You got to know that as a fan.
What's up with Matt and everybody be trying to put words in my mouth? Matt said something before I said something. Now Ant trying to say I said we talking about tanking. I never say that.
Hey, you got to understand, man. You know, the education over there in the DMV area.
I forget.
It's kind of shaky, bro. It's kind of shaky.
That's not true at all, man. I mean, they got the Panthers and Washington next, and then they go Seattle home, Eagles home, at Buffalo, at Miami, Detroit home, and Washington. That's not that 5-game run. They could go 2-3 in that.
Yeah,
going to Buffalo in December is not easy, and then going to Miami in December is not easy. You know, playing Washington and then playing Seattle on a short week, that's not easy. I don't think can they win games? Yes. But I think knowing how the Cowboys fluctuate, I don't think you can mark them down to run the table or anything like that. They got a tough schedule.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, you look, it's always going to fluctuate week by week on the power rankings and where people are going to see teams. But there are teams that you can say overall they've been pretty consistent over the basis of 10 weeks so far. And the Detroit Lions are one of those teams. All right. Say what you want about their past. You can't keep holding them to the past standards of what people think of when you see Detroit Lions. Fact of the matter is they've been damn consistent all season, and they've beaten some good teams. And that was an impressive win for them to go out. I know the Chargers aren't as impressive that most people have always, kind of put on their name the last few years. Regardless, I think it's impressive what they've done overall as a scale of the Detroit Lions because, hey, they've done it, and they're in every game. Well, except Baltimore. I won in that game.
I say this, about the Baltimore game. the thing that really got them is that once they got up on them, man, they couldn't play their game, and it's just like it was over with. And that's with a lot of teams. If you have a certain style of team, the style that you play, and if you get behind, you got
hold on. Hey, Flo, your Cowboys past is still your future, still your present.
It happened this year. You lost to the Cardinals. What are you talking about?
Flo, that's
with awful interceptions against the Cardinals. It's this year.
Flo, under Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, what you done in the beginning of that regime is what's happening now. That's what you are. Is you keep going up and down, and then come playoff time, here comes second round, and we hit that ceiling and can't get past it. I get it. You're a Cowboys fan, but at some point, you Cowboys fans got to be realistic that y'all are what we thought you are. You are nothing but great talent that will never get past the second round because your quarterback in your coaching position will forever be your anchor. Change it, and you might change something. Until then, you are what you are. That's just what it is. That's not us hating.
I can't believe I'm quoting Mike McDaniels, the Dolphins head coach. They haven't beat a winning team yet. Nobody can sit here and say they're going to. Want to change the narrative? Change the narrative. Get to a conference championship. Don't get to the Super Bowl because none of us want to see that or deal with that.
My God.
Get to the conference championship. Change the narrative. Stop saying, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. You haven't done it. I was dunking a basketball in 95 the last time you do it. I can't even go up a fucking flight of stairs successfully now. Doesn't mean I could say I could still dunk because I did it in the past.
One so short.
Hell yeah. I got a better chance of regrowing that toe than the Cowboys do winning it this
year. and it's not. And here's the thing.
Last couple games, you lost to the Eagles and you gave up 17 points to Tommy DeVito, who can't get in the end zone. Like, calm down. You lost the game that mattered, and you beat the shit out of a team you should beat the shit out of. The Giants have 1,700 injuries. They're pulling guys from home off the couch. You can't puff your chest out about that game and say, we're that team. Come on, man.
We them boys.
Oh, Anthony, I can shoot I can't do a jump shot, but I'll do a set shot. I'd hit 17 threes in a row before my kid's game like 3 years ago. I can still shoot. I just can't run.
It's not biased, Flo.
It's not biased. It's statistically based. It's actually based. It's accurate. And I hate that me and Lamar are agreeing this much. I feel like we're on a hidden camera show. What the fuck? But Flo, we're not talking. If I started going at Lamar saying, well, Patrick Mahomes can't do it no more, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. That has no basis for logic. We are logically telling you that Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett, your last two coaches, could not deliver on talented teams who were arguably the most talented team in the NFL. They were 14-2 one year and couldn't even get to the conference championship team.
Yeah.
Got knocked out by the Giants in the divisional round, who were a wild card. They just can't finish the job.
Yeah.
Who cares about being America's team?
Be a winning team.
What does that do? There's no trophy for that. Congratulations. You keep dumping money out of your pocket and giving it to Jerry Jones, and he gives you nothing in fucking return.
Nah, it's all right. It's we'll move on because Flo is going to be disappointed in about a month and a half when he comes back on the show and say, "Oh, you guys are right." No worries.
Please let me answer this. Please just let me answer. I know he's going to keep giving. Please. It doesn't matter if we don't win. Winning regular season games is fun, but the goal is to finish the job. If your fan base is pumping their chest out, saying, this is our year, we're going to do it. You said it yourself. We're going to get further than we have. And you don't, that's when we laugh. You just don't let it happen organically. You don't let it just progress. It's, we beat the Giants. We're the fucking best team in football. I get fucking goddamn a high school team to beat the Giants right now. Don Bosco Prep could line up and compete with the Giants.
Yeah,
Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher could line up and beat the Giants. See how we put a pretty bow on the whole show here?
Hey, beating the Giants is not impressive right now. I'm just saying, beating the Giants is not impressive right now.
I'm just curious why he said the Lions don't have a better pass and he didn't say the Jets. And that's the Nick. And Nick's the one who's talking. I'm just curious why he said the Lions have a better pass and Nick's the one talking. Why he said the Jets? I'm just curious. Just asking. Don't say I ain't saying nothing. I'm just listening.
Because he's a Cowboy fan. He's caught up in the feelings right now. His thumbs can't keep up with his thoughts. My housemate here who heard me, he's an Eagle fan. He texted me, good for thought. The Eagles are America's team, considering the bald eagle and all.
That's hilarious.
Cowboys can't even be original. They share a logo with the Patriots and the fucking Texans with the stupid star.
Two things. So the 49ers, they're getting healthy, come off the bye, and they put a whooping on the Jaguars. I think two things happen. It shows again how my point about Brock Purdy is a system quarterback, because imagine his people's come back and they're healthy, he looks great again. And then two, I've been telling people about the turnover problems with Trevor Lawrence and how it kills their offense. It happened yesterday. I get it. It was a good San Francisco 49ers defense. Chase Young actually got a sack. Oh, AP, doesn't that have to suck? You trade away Chase Young and then immediately he helps the 49ers. You trade Montez Sweat, he immediately helps the Bears, but they couldn't do nothing in Commander's uniform. Imagine that. It's just that I think two things out of that 49ers Jaguars games came out of that. Any thoughts on that one, fellas?
Deebo Samuel has potentially the greatest value to a team. That offense is different when Deebo's there. I.O.W. is not a number one. He's a fantastic number two. You have to pay so much attention to Deebo that allows Kittle, I.O.W., everyone else to flow and operate. And Deebo's value to the team is just, you can't quantify it, because it's not just in the numbers. It's his existence. It's him being there that is really. Are you drinking Sprite in a green can? Because when you put the green can up, it goes into the green screen.
I love Squirt.
Hey now.
Wait a minute.
I'll send you a link. Man.
Wait a minute.
I'm talking about Squirt, the grapefruit, pop.
I know what Squirt is.
I still send the link anyway. Your choice if you use it or not. But Deebo's value to that team, Deebo goes down, they don't win a game without Deebo, right? He got hurt and they lost every game. He comes back, they look like a machine again on offense. It's and I was watching the game live with my roommate, and when Trent Williams did that pull block, you saw the safety ducking right there. I want none of this shit. And then Trent Williams talked about it after the game. He's like, yo, number 31, I never seen a safety duck and run. I never saw that before. Like, yo, you never had a Trent Williams running at you from fucking 35 yards.
I would have done the same thing too. I'd be like, oh shit, Trent Williams. Oh, let me get the hell out of the way, bro.
I was just dropped and played dead. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get hit by Trent Williams, man. That's a big head. I'm 390, and I'm saying I do not want to get hit by Trent Williams.
I would have just walked off the field. I'd be like, this shit, that ain't. I think I'm done, dog.
I would have shit myself like Paul Pierce. I ain't gonna lie. If I saw him running at me.
No, and then of course, man, I got to give credit to the Browns. Great comeback win. Here's the thing that's going to piss me off with the Ravens. They play with their food too much, and they were up 14. They shouldn't have lost that game. This is the third time
they dropped a touchdown pass.
It's the third time they did, but this is the third time that they've done it this year. That they are better than the team that they're beating and they lose. They shouldn't have lost to the Browns. They shouldn't have lost to the Steelers. And then I can't remember who was the third loss from or their first loss from. Either way, this is that's one thing that I'm noticing with the Ravens is that they are one of the better teams that likes to continue to play with their food, and they're going to continue to not. They didn't close the game against the Colts. Yep,
that's what it was.
So it's like there's 3 games this year where they are not closing the door on teams. Harbaugh has to fix that. He's going to have to fix that. I don't know whether it's play calling. I don't know if it's the actual players not showing up when it matters. Regardless, they got to fix that. So the Ravens gotta fix that shit.
He said, drop the take on that.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens
Since the
are
Ravens passed,
bullies.
they lose early in the playoffs, and Lamar gets hurt. Go ahead.
That's fair. The Ravens are bullies. The Ravens want to beat you up, right, on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They want to run the ball down your throat. And I know you're going to hate this, Lamar, but when you play a tight game and you have to close it out, you have to make passes. And he throws the interception in the end zone against Pittsburgh. He throws the interception that takes a pick six back yesterday. When Lamar's got to throw in a big spot, and it's not the middle of the game, and it's not predicted, or it's not play action, catching people off guard, there's a lot of failures, man. And I know that you're a big fan of him, and
well, I mean, hey,
you want to beat them, you make Lamar throw, because he's not going to do it. He's going to fail more often than he succeeds in big moments.
Well, no, look, the credit goes to the Browns. The interception taken back for interception, it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Newsom jumped on it, took it back to the house. The credit goes to the Browns. All right. That's just what it is. The Browns defense is elite this year. They made the plays when it mattered. You just got to hold the Ravens accountable for third time this year that the Ravens don't handle business. They get up on teams early, and they play with their food, and they don't close their door. They should have done to the Browns yesterday what they did to the Lions. Get up on them early and keep the foot on their throat. They didn't. And that goes to the blame goes to Lamar Jackson, the blame goes to Monken, the offensive coordinator, and the blame goes to Harbaugh, the head coach, for not having the wherewithal, the sense to, hey, this is a division opponent. They know us very well. We're up on them big. Take them out. You just got to finish the job. So all the credit goes to the Browns, and all the blame goes to many people on the Ravens, and it could get spread amongst coach, quarterback, and offensive coordinator, whichever you want to decide who percentage wise. They get the blame. I mean, it is what it is.
That's how I get you. I piss you off, and then I do something at the end to win you back. Been the story of all my relationships in life, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a very abusive.
Piss you off, and you're like, damn, this motherfucker got a point.
So you think teams focusing on stopping the run and getting Lamar beat you with this? And to Nick's point, that is the strategy to beat the Ravens, is to make sure that, hey, they may be up on us, because if you watch the game yesterday, they were up, majority of the game. And Cleveland all of a sudden said, the defense said, hey, let's put the clamps on one side of the offense, which was the run, start shutting it down. And then you saw it was enough to get their offense going, because it took a minute for Deshaun to get into that game. And then once they started clicking, their offense got into it. So, I mean, that's how you do it. Play good enough defense to. And
I think, too, the Ravens defense doesn't seem to play the same all the way through.
Yeah.
And I want you watch games to watch a lot of the games they play. They get up on you quick, bully you. Then it's like 8 1/4, they kind of just slack off a little bit. Even when it's blowing the Lions out, Jahmyr Gibbs got like 100-something yards on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it just started just slacking off.
It's like a whole team slack off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, you gotta stay that way to focus all the way through all 4 quarters.
Yeah. That's fair to say. Well, quick thoughts and concerns on or comments on tonight's Broncos Bills matchup. Detroit Mel.
Man, fuck the Broncos.
Fuck the Bills. Where's Hot Take Jake, baby? I'm riding with Broncos Nation tonight, boy.
You really doing that?
Fuck the Bills. They can't fucking. Something's wrong with them. Josh Allen is a 5-year-old playing Madden. He wants to throw the bomb every time, and if you have to make him play a smart, intelligent game, he can't do it.
I think the Bills win this game, though.
I think they'll win, but I'm rooting Denver.
Oh, okay.
No confidence in Denver.
I hope I'm right.
I was waiting. I was like, is he really rolling with this Denver shit?
I mean, I'm rooting Denver. I just think.
Well, obviously, the hatred you got for the Bills, I understand that. I just didn't know if you was actually going to come to your senses and be like, all right, enough with that.
I mean, look at the Bills recently.
Yeah.
What have they done good?
They've done nothing.
They've done nothing that you can look at them and say, they're the Bills.
He said at the Broncos win, I'm not showing up for my own show. Hey, I take Jake will be unbearable, bro. That's hilarious.
Flo. Let me tell you. Flo. The Broncos are elite. Russ be cooking.
Good. You need to talk like that from now. But since the Bills beat Miami, they lost to the Jaguars in London.
Yeah.
They beat the Giants 14-9 on a pass interference that wasn't called, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Patriots, who can't do anything on offense. They gave up 29 to them.
Yeah,
they went down to the end with the Bucks and Baker Mayfield. They lost to the Bengals. Like,
yeah, I feel you.
I don't know. I'm curious to see if Buffalo. I know losing Milano. I know losing Tre'Davious White hurts. I don't know. Like, they can't get it going. Like, I'm happy about it. You know, I hope Denver can pull off an upset tonight. I hope Russ is phenomenal, man. I hope that motherfucker cooks like a 17-course meal. But I got my concerns, but I wouldn't bet on this game because I could see it going either way, to be completely honest, because neither team is playing well week in and week out.
Yeah. Right now, Buffalo's an 8-point favorite. Look, if Buffalo,
Chris, we're taking the points.
All I'm saying is if Buffalo is serious about being part of that whole playoff conversation, they need to win. I think it's a must win. You can't lose to a team like Denver, 3-5 team. As I say that, as we lost to them a couple of weeks ago, that was still disgusting. But regardless, is that you're the better team. The media and the talking heads keep putting Buffalo up there in that upper echelon of elite teams, and you're 5-4, and you're in this state right now where you gotta prove that you can't keep we'll beat the bad teams. Come on, let's stop.
They are the bad team. Buffalo is the bad team. Like,
it's crazy.
Don't get me wrong. This game can be 40-12. Buffalo.
Oh, real quick.
This game can be 24-20 Denver. Like, this is a game that you look at and you're like, I don't know who the hell's going to show up. I don't know.
Huh?
Like, this is a hard game to look at and bet because you don't know which team is going to show on both sidelines.
I know that's a fair point.
Inconsistencies. There's coaching questions. There's execution questions. There's quarterback decision making early in the game, and then they stack on some yardage and points later in the game. Like, it's a very difficult to read, like a mediocre team in the NFL, and I think they're both mediocre.
Here's why Buffalo is on upset alert. Because the same thing I said about the Chiefs Broncos matchup a couple weeks ago that we ended up losing. Mahomes was going through his turnovers spiel leading into that game, and guess what? They got 5 turnovers. Josh Allen is in the middle of his turnover spiel. That Denver defense, that's all they need is get a couple of turnovers, keep them in the game. That's all they need.
I'm looking at Buffalo's schedule right now. The last 6 games.
I already looked at it.
Wait. Let me get this out. Win, loss. I want Buffalo to win tonight because they play the Jets Sunday and keep that win-loss pattern going, baby. Let's go, Buffalo.
Hey, bro. And Flo says it the same time you does too. So it's literally that's been their thing. Their back half of that schedule. Hey, this is why I said it's a must win, because look at the rest of the schedule. Going on the rest of their schedule, that is not a schedule that says, hey, man, we are favored in all of those games. They're literally in a schedule that back half it's a toss-up, and you're going to get some elite opponents. I mean, you got Eagles, you got Chiefs, you got Cowboys. Patriots already shown that they can beat you. Jets have already beaten you. There's not one gimme game in the back half of that schedule. There's not a gimme at all. There's a fight for every game that they got. Even the Chargers are going to have to fight for that.
This might be the closest thing to that tonight, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is a must win. It is because you have to get the one gimme game on this back half of this schedule, because there ain't no more past this. Ain't no more.
Love it.
Hey, hey, I'm saying it right now. If Buffalo loses this game, I don't think they make the playoffs based on just that schedule.
They're not making the playoffs either way.
Just on that.
Unless Milano comes back and starts sniping everyone on the offense like he does every year, taking the opposition out, they can't make the playoffs. Third place team. I told you this.
Yeah. All right, Flo, man, we'll check in with you in Bottom Line Sports tomorrow. We'll see how that show ends up turning out, depending on how bearable or unbearable Hot Take Jake is. So,
right.
Flo, what time you guys drop? What time you guys go on?
Yeah. Hey, Flo, put in the comments what time you guys are going on tomorrow.
You go live, or is that taped and they release it?
They're live.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go live. But hey, man, appreciate Flo, AP, Melvin Wall, Man Down Sports, everybody that tapped in with us today.
MJ.
Yeah, MJ, our brother MJ, man. He got his got his new earpieces in so he can hear it nice and clear and crispy. They're going live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, so 8 p.m. your time, Nick. So we appreciate all the love and support. Y'all know what it is.
Dolby surround sound earpiece.
Hey, man, on behalf of the big homie Nick Shine, Detroit Mail, Wildcard Mar, man, we will tap in with y'all Thursday for another episode of I.O.W. Sports, man. It's been real. Peace and love.
What woman, sir? This here is a hoe.